All right. So we're going to be jumping right into it. It is King Devious. We have a live audience. Wasn't well, it was kind of planned. It was kind of planned. I'm going to be honest. But today we're going to be doing episode 1 of the D&G podcast. And today we're pretty much going to be talking about the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta. Came out
After we both experienced it.
Yeah, after we both experienced it. We're going to talk about the pros, the cons, some things that we think need to be changed by the full release date. Now, this is not us saying what needs to be changed 100%. We're not speaking for the entire community. This is us just throwing our opinions out there. You don't have to agree with it. Personally, I don't really care if you do. It's entirely your choice. But let's jump into it.
I think the first thing we need to talk about is this no mini-map situation that we got going on. Look, we've had, what, 2007 was when Modern Warfare dropped. We've gone 12 years with a mini-map, and all of a sudden Modern Warfare decided not to come out with a mini-map this year. And it's causing a lot of issues, in my opinion.
Okay, what's your biggest issue of not having the minimap though? Like what?
Because when people are shooting at each other, there's no red dots that appear on the map. You're not able to see where things are happening. If somebody's behind you or a gunfight just occurred behind you, you don't know if one's occurring upstairs in a building above you. So it's causing people to kind of play a little bit more passive than they're used to. They're not running around the map trying to shoot people, knowing exactly where they might be. It's just causing people to just not not play so passively, sitting in buildings and trying to pick people off. I don't like it personally. I think it's just too slow.
Okay, well one of the thing like one of your issues that you were talking about during the beta was the fact that people keep hiding in corners quite frequently, and to be honest, I don't even think that's something that the game forces a slower pace. It's not like Advanced Warfare where you could sit there exodash around corners and just play that aggressive role and go around the map dropping high kills. For this, you have to hold down a position, and that's when the kills start flowing to you. To be honest, I don't think that that's a problem with the game. I think it's the players playing the game, but I do agree the minimap. We've played every Call of Duty title with a minimap, and now that it's taken it out, it's gonna be a new sensation for some people. It's gonna cause some issues, like you've already seen pros like Wuskin, Karma, Octane.
Well,
Like you've seen all those pros sitting there saying, "Where the hell's our minimap?" Like it's a huge part of the game. 90% of their gameplay, majority of them have said, comes off of their minimap, knowing where your teammates are. But also, it could throw in that implement. It could also throw in where communication in this Call of Duty for competitive is going to be huge if they go against the community and say, "You're not getting a minimap."
no, I get that, and it's causing people to adapt. But when people are uh, all the bitching on Twitter, but everybody's saying, "Oh, you got to adapt to it, not having a minimap." Well, people are adapting to not having a minimap, and it's causing them to camp. That's how people are adapting to the game. You can't not have a minimap and not show where people are and expect people to continue running around the map. People are just going to continue camping no matter what. And it's the worst camping I think I experienced in the beta was domination. Uh, because the spawns were consistent in domination, and the spawns in TDM were so terrible. Um, there were a couple instances I would spawn and I'd run up to the nearest building, and there were people that are already behind me. I think spawns were another thing that needed to be tweaked before the game actually comes out.
I completely agree. To be honest, I think the spawns in these game modes, they're not delicate enough. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, but
when
yeah, like it is a beta.
in
I mean,
in
hopefully they'll
true
fix it.
true it's in a beta, but like when you went into World War II for the World War II beta, if you pushed a spawn, they swapped almost
Yeah,
instantly.
immediately.
In this game, you can get 3 waves of kills off of the entire enemy team before the game finally sits there and is like, okay, well, they're getting fucked hard. Maybe we should throw them on the other side of the map, and I think that needs to
And
come way sooner.
I did notice that in Domination when I forget the name of the map, but it's like a desert with a cave cave on the left
Okay,
side,
I know the
and
map you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about. But
Yeah.
there are instances where the whole team would push B, both sides, both teams would push B, and then when the teams died, they'd flip the spawns to the opposite flags. I was constantly spawning on the enemy flag, and I didn't like it because like, what's the point of having a home flag if you're not going to spawn there?
True.
You
To
know?
be honest, I'm not too big on spawning on my teammates, not having a consistent spawn.
I'm not saying spawn on your teammates. I'm just saying spawn on that side of the map. Like there's a big side of your big side of the map that where your home flag is, where people would be able to spawn. I'm not saying immediately spawn next to each other, but I, I I couldn't I was having a hard time playing this beta, and I could not have fun just for the amount of camping that was going. That was the only reason.
Now, was that you
Now,
playing the beta solo or with a team?
with the team, even with the team, I couldn't do it. And I one thing that I did find that is, I hate to do this, but I'm literally going to be comparing some of my gunfights to Rainbow Six Siege. And that was what was talked about when people were watching the videos when it was released months ago. Dude, every single gun has a tremendous amount of recoil. A tremendous amount of recoil, and that is consistent with Rainbow Six Siege. And I don't know if I really like that much, but it's just no gun had less recoil than the next one.
Okay, but if you look at it from a game dev's perspective, they're trying to make the games as realistic as possible. If you sit there and, well, the M4A1 is in the game. It's probably one of the most popular weapons to use in the game just because of how versatile it is. At close range, short range, medium range, it's just an all-around good gun. If you sit there and try firing an M4 down the range, it's not just gonna sit there and not bounce up. You're gonna get that recoil, and I respect the fact that you're trying to make it realistic. But like, I do agree with what you're saying. Without grips at all, your weapons are bouncing like crazy.
But why change something that has been in Call of Duty for such a long time? And this is what Call of Duty's issue is year to year is they're trying to change something that wasn't in the previous that has never been in Call of Duty before. And this Call of Duty, it's now no mini map and guns just they shoot all over the place. This is one of the things that Call of Duty is trying to change, and this is one thing I cannot understand about Call of Duty is why do they change something that has been in the game since it came out back in the early 2000s? I don't understand it. It's something that kills me when it comes to playing Call of Duty each year. But like I said, we have to adapt. But I don't know. This year is going to be a tough year, in my opinion, all across the board for us, for competitive, all everywhere. I
Now
I don't know.
with the no minimap and the recoil, do you think we're still gonna see that high level of performance from the pro players? Like, do you think there's gonna be that big of a gap between pros and amateurs or
No,
like pub stompers?
I think that gameplay in this game is going to be extremely slow, depending on the competitive game modes. If the competitive game modes are hardpoint and what they've been in previous years, then I see a very slow year. When I say slow year, I mean gameplay is just going to be slow
Well,
because
to be fair though, we're also playing game modes that are like 6v6. You have fucking 10v10 game modes too.
yeah, they're all over the place.
When you have 4v4, that gives you more free range to move over the map. You're not worried
Isn't it
about someone
5v5?
being whether it's 4v4 or 5v5. I don't think it's been announced yet. If it has, I haven't heard anything about it. And someone that's so into competitive Call of Duty as I am, that's the things I look for because being a part of a team, Sista Gaming, check us out on Twitter. Um, Being a part of a competitive team as I am, that's something that we look for. So I doubt that everybody in the team would miss it, and even if they saw it, they'd probably inform the remainder of us. So I don't think it's quite been announced yet. But I do think whether it's 4v4 or 5v5 will open up some of the maps. Plus, we've only seen 4 maps.
True, true. And I do like how they got rid of the 3-lane I mean, it's sort of a three-lane map. Some of them are, but it's not like a straight down. You know, they got
Yeah,
a little bit of a curve to them as they go, which is a lot better than your traditional three-lane maps that we've seen from
and
Treyarch.
I
But
will. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, no, yeah, go ahead, say what you're gonna say.
I will say this for a beta, it is probably one of the smoothest betas I've ever played in the form of like the game sense. It's not choppy. Very rarely do you hit lag or anything like that from the
Yeah,
servers.
except they needed to fix the you get kicked out of your party every time you finish a game. You have to
See,
restart it.
see, I
That
don't
was the
get.
only issue with the servers.
See, from what I found today, that issue was fixed because
Oh yeah,
I
right.
didn't have to do that at all today. I'd go and get thrown right into another game, and it was great. To be honest, it was fantastic. But you know,
No, I agree with you. The server wise, it was very good. All right,
I
but let's move on from spawns and that. Let's move on to the return of some of the weapons that we've seen in previous
okay.
games. Um, as we've said previously, the M4A1 has made a comeback, which is probably one of the most classic guns Infinity Ward has released in their games. You know,
Has
it's
there
been
been a
in
game
Modern
that they
Warfare.
haven't had it in?
Uh, very. I don't think there has been. You know, Modern Warfare 2 had it. Modern Warfare
Because
3 had it.
you've had variations. Even Infinity Ward, like or Infinite
Yeah,
Warfare had it in the form of the NV4. It was
exactly.
same gun, different name.
And it is the most classic Infinity Ward gun there is, other than the ACR, which
Or
we'll
the
get to that in a
FAMAS.
second. But you know, they brought back the AK-47, another classic gun that has been in
The
Infinity Ward's
74,
games.
from what I understand, the 74U also made a return as well in the submachine gun
Yes, it
category.
did. Yes, it did, and I'm actually glad because the 74U was one of my favorite guns from Black Ops 1.
We also have the
Uh,
MP5
and
and the MP7. Also the P90. And what was that gun from Modern Warfare 3? The PP2000 or something like that with
the
that
the
with the little sausage mag at the bottom, the cylindrical mag.
yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I forget the name of it though.
that gun also made a return, but it's like the PP Bison or something like
It
that.
was it was called the Bison in Modern Warfare 3.
I'm gonna take a look at this really quick. I'm gonna take a look at the weapons.
Because if you remember, didn't they put it in Infinite Warfare?
The
Wasn't it a DLC?
PP19 Bison. Yeah, that no,
Was it?
this was a ghost weapon. There was
Oh,
also a
you're right.
different
Yes, yes.
variation of it in Modern
It,
Warfare 3.
yeah, yes, it was first originated in Modern Warfare 3.
All of
But
these guns, I feel, are classic Call of Duty weapons, apart from the AUG, because when we were talking about Modern Warfare 2, you had
the
the
AUG
AUG
was
as
the
a light
LMG.
machine gun, but you
Yeah,
have MP5, MP7, the AUG, the P90, the PP19 Bison,
these
and
are
the Uzi. These are all
they're all
classic weapons.
Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 era, which is actually really good because I was kind of sick of getting new guns every year, and this when they announced it as Modern Warfare, the first thing that came to my mind was classic. And you know, they brought back all of their guns from their Modern Warfare series. And you know, the biggest gun, the absolute biggest gun that everybody wanted to return for years was the ACR, which they call the Kilo 141 in this game. Uh, the Probably one of the most fan favorite guns in Call of Duty history, and it finally has made its return, and I'm excited to be able to use it. I don't know if it's coming out in the beta or not,
I don't think they'll
but
let us touch those final three weapons in the betas
nah.
because they are
It,
the most iconic weapons probably across the entire Call of Duty franchise. You have the rendition of the ACR, you have the
yeah.
FAL, and you also have the FN Scar.
Speaking of FAL, do you think that it is going to have its select fire that BO2 had?
Seeing as majority of the weapons that we've already had, like the M4, you
Have
can
select
swap it.
fire?
Yeah, you can swap it to a semi-automatic, and I like the fact that you can sit there and it doesn't take up an attachment space. So if I want to sit there
Exactly.
and I want to shoot somebody at long range with this weapon, I can
It,
sit there and put it to semi-automatic and control my shots a lot more.
and you know what that's going to be able to do for for I want to say pros is, you know, it's going to be able to add that extra long range. So snipers may not be necessary if you're able to have a nice trigger finger with semi-automatics ARs. It could eliminate a sniper rifle role for those professionals. Do you
I
think it could, or do you think?
I think it'll eliminate snipers in other game modes. I think the sniper will always stay in search and destroy just for how effective it was at getting picks. But do I think that it'll eliminate them in other ones like CTF if it's in this? Absolutely. I don't think there's going to be a need for a sniper. The snipers don't aim in fast enough for you to really get that line of zoom. And that's another thing about the snipers. Those quick pop shots that you would get in other Call of Duties that Black Ops 2 was famous for, even BO4, where you'd get that quick line of sight, be able to snap down and pop someone's head off a head glitch. You can't really do that in this game, at least not right now, unless you get extremely lucky. They've made it extremely hard for snipers, in my opinion, to sit there and get those clips. So now if you see a sniper that's sitting there popping off feeds, well, you have two options. One, they're either sitting in an area and everybody's running in their line of sight and, well, the team's just being stupid, or you actually have a skilled sniper. So I think this will separate some of the FaZe fanboys from actual snipers. And that's something I've been looking for from Call of Duty in a while. One of the most aggravating things that can take you off a kill streak is a
Is a
lucky no
sniper.
scope from a sniper.
Or
I've sent
or just shooting at a sniper and then them just be like, okay, just pop up a quick scope real quick
yeah,
and kill you
I've
after you put
sent
like five
many
bullets in them.
controllers across the room for that. Many of them.
All right,
Unfortunately,
so
one was a scuff, but
while we're still talking about guns, I noticed this while I was scrolling through. What what is your opinion on them returning some like World War II based weapons? Because I'm scrolling through. You have a shotgun called the 725, which is basically the over and under shotgun from Black Ops 1. What was that called? The Olympia. You have the MG34, which is a classic LMG from World War II, the actual Call of Duty. You have a Kar 98K, which is a marksman rifle, World War II, and they also have a few pistols. They got the 1911 and the 357, which was actually a pistol in the World War II. What are your feelings on them trying to bring back these guns because they seem to be making return in almost every other Call of Duty?
to be honest, I like it. I like the fact that we're getting a balance of modern weapons that you would see in warfare today and some older style weapons that are still used in other areas of the world in modern, like in war today, like the PKM LMG. That's something that you'd see across the seas. The AK, that's probably one of the most universal assault rifles on the planet, used everywhere.
Hands down.
Easily. The shotguns, to be honest, I I don't like how inconsistent the shotguns are right now because it seems like your first shot does not connect. And I know it's like I'm gonna get those comments, well, maybe you're just a shit player. Well, maybe you're fucking right, but I highly doubt it. So like what do you do? I should not sit there, hip fire, have someone in that bloom and not get a hit marker. I'd be okay if I got a fucking hit marker,
I
but
got that.
it's like it doesn't even register.
I haven't even touched this shotgun, so I can't even tell you. The only time I touched the shotgun was in the alpha, and
They're
I played the alpha for 2 hours,
they're
and I was done with the fucking
disgusting
thing.
and so rage inducing.
The 725 has a lot of range from what I've seen.
Yeah, that was the one with the sniper scope on it.
All right, let's move on to another thing I really wanted to talk about, which was the kill streaks. So before we talk about them, what are your thoughts on them finally bringing back kill streaks and not score streaks?
Um, I don't know. I kind of like it, but like
Is it gonna make shitters and those kids that would just go for the objective to get all their kill streaks? Do you think it's gonna cause them to have a harder time in getting their kill streaks
no.
this year?
I think it'll be a lot more rage inducing, to be honest, for the people that like to run and gun. because if those players sit there in their spawn or in the objective for hardpoint, if they sit there with some machine guns, shotguns, light machine guns, and they pre-aim doors, it makes it so hard for us as run and gunners to get in there and take it over, because your time to kill in this game, you're dead like that. No
Yeah.
hesitation. Which isn't, it's not a bad thing. It kind of evens it out, but at the same time, it's extremely frustrating for people that try and make YouTube videos off of gameplays, because you could be sitting there, like me today. I was on a 21 kill streak. I was 4 off that tactical nuke, and I ran into a shotgun because he was sitting on the B flag constantly in that map that you were talking about with the tunnels. Shotguns have enough range in this game, they can one-shot you like 20 feet
From a
away.
good distance.
That's not a thing that normally comes through in Call of Duty, but at the same time, as rage-inducing as it is, you do also have to understand, in real life, you're not sitting there shooting a fucking duck from 5 feet away. It happens from time to time, but the amount that it actually happens, like, come on. Realistically, a shotgun could kill somebody from a good distance away.
All right, moving along through these kill streaks. One of the things I want to point out is the Wheelson and the infantry assault vehicle, which are basically the same exact thing, except one's AI controlled and one is not. And the one thing I do like about this is if you're one of those people that are trying to get a shitload of kills and you don't have time for your score streaks, you can just throw down the infantry assault vehicle and it'll let it get its own amount of kills. Or you can do the Wheelson and take your time to actually AI control it and get some kills with it. They're both 7 kills to get it. And I think that's one of the things that I struggled with year to year is finding score streaks that I can use on the go without having to waste time actually using them. And I feel like this is going to be a little bit of a change for me. But we got a lot of fucking helicopters, a lot of fucking
We do, and fucking
airstreaks.
finally give me something other than an attack chopper, a Pavlo, and a fucking chopper gunner. By the way, the chopper gunner in this game is probably one of the best I've seen, because you can actually control where it goes. You don't get rotations.
And the VTOL jet, which is the Harrier strike from Modern Warfare 2, is 8 kills instead of what used to be 7. And but is that extra kill worth it? Is it have like a more barrage? Does it
We
last longer than
well,
the actual Harrier
we'd have
strike?
to see. It's hard to speak on a lot of these kill streaks if we're comparing them
Because
to
we
what they
yeah
were in the past. Then that could be a completely different topic in itself. But
yeah no
we
no no
haven't
I
seen
just want
these
to
in action.
no I just want to touch on them now so then when we do see them we can compare them to what we thought.
See, I had an interesting thought about this because this is technically modern. This is a modern style game, and we have jets that hover today. What if it's what if it's a more present day version of the VTOL warship from Black Ops 2?
It could be.
I think that would be an
It, but,
interesting way to look at it.
except the VTOL warship was a higher shriek and it didn't
It
have
was
a
a score
barrage
streak.
for it. Yeah. So it was different, but what do you you and I had talked about this when we first started playing the game. What is your thoughts on the advanced UAV being 12 kills in this game? Okay, it is the second hardest score streak or second hardest kill streak to get in this game.
Depending on what it is and how long it lasts. So if it lasts the same as an orbital VSAT and it cannot be shot down, then yes, I think it deserves to be up there. But
I was gonna say
if it's
better
just like
have
the
that.
advanced UAV from Modern Warfare where it was easily shot down,
Modern Warfare 3 had
well
the
yeah, Modern Warfare
the
3.
advanced
If
UAV.
it's the same as that one, fuck, chop it down to 7. I'm not. That will never get ran unless people are going for constant tactical nukes. And even then, I think your or your kill streak kills go towards a tactical nuke. I honestly do.
See, that's what I asked you because reading the description under advanced UAV, it says orbital UAV that reveals the enemy's direction on the mini map. See, the only thing that would suggest that it could be not shot down is it's orbital. So orbital meaning, it's a satellite in space.
Yeah.
But it doesn't physically tell you that it cannot be shot down, which could be an issue because if it can be shot down, then it's not worth it's like it's a UAV that shows direction,
Yeah.
and it's not worth 12 kills.
But if it's like an orbital VSAT, then yes, I do believe it deserves to be up in 12 kills. Because if you get
Do you
8
think
kills every time and it shows the constant movement of the enemy, guaranteed that's going to be one of the most ran score streaks out there.
But do you think that the tactical nuke can be achieved by using your kill streaks?
Yes. Because
That'd be interesting.
if you go on YouTube and you watch Karma's video for the world's first Modern Warfare nuclear, it's right here on my YouTube while I'm watching this live stream. If you watch it, he does not get 12 he does not get 25 kills in that streak just using his gun. He doesn't. You can sit there and count them. I could be wrong. But from how I looked at it, he doesn't. So most of those kills
I'll have
had
to
to come
watch it.
from that glide bomb, or what's it called in this game? The cruise
The
missile.
cruise missile.
He- a lot of those kills came from the cruise missile and his chopper gunner.
Well, we'll have to find out either when the game releases or if one of us can actually
But
drop one.
but that makes it interesting because what if we're watching a a LAN event, okay? And you have all the pros sitting there, and the chopper gunner gets dropped, and someone drops a tactical nuke. You've just won the game for your team.
But they'll probably disable tactical nukes in
Why?
competitive, if I was to guess.
Why would you do
Because it's,
if you allow a player to go on a 25 kill streak as a pro, there's a fucking problem there. They
no,
deserve the
and
win at that point.
I understand that, but you're gonna find teams that are gonna have that streaker that's gonna end up doing that, and it's gonna make the game even slower than me and I talked about earlier. You're gonna have that one person that's not gonna be playing the objective, not going anywhere near it, just so he can try and get that 25 kill streak,
Okay,
which,
but
you know,
think about it. This is a term that was used a lot recently in this Call of Duty. Every team had an Iceman, someone that when it came to those clutch scenarios, they did not choke. Ice in their veins. They did not get nervous. They didn't get those jitters and you overthink things and make the mistake. Optic had Dashy and well, no, it was TJ Haley. If you have that, I think it would add a suspenseful aspect to competitive Call of Duty. Because if you have a player on a 17 kill streak and then he gets to that 20 and then dies, that's a suspense buildup right there.
you're right. It would definitely be different, but
And and as a team, you have the
we'll see.
option. You either go 4v4, 5v5, whatever it is. You take that player and you either tell them to go for streaks or you play the 5-man hill and go for the objective. It's up to those teams at that point because whether or not you get the tactical nuke, you could still have that player going for streaks where they pick a chopper gunner, a fucking cruise missile, whatever it be. You could still have that person that goes for those streaks. And the cruise missile's not that hard to obtain. 5 kills?
That's only 5.
How many
Traditional.
games do we see where people go on 5 kill streaks in a competitive aspect with pros? It's not uncommon. Obviously, you
You're
get
right,
it in
it's
some
not.
teams more than others, but you're going to see cruise missiles dropping like crazy. Now, here's a question I want to ask. What do you think about the personal UAV being thrown up in competitive? Or is it even a personal UAV? No, we're just getting
No,
a
it's
UAV
personal
right now.
radar. Personal radar.
Yeah,
Is
but
that
we're
what you're talking
getting.
about?
Are we getting the personal radar right now? No, we're getting the UAV. What do you think about the UAV, or the personal radar being thrown up in competitive Call of Duty?
I think it's gonna make up for not having a mini map because you're throwing a radar up that it's gonna be able to show you the enemies, and that team can actually rush while the other team still doesn't have one. And is it gonna cause that other team to maybe camp a little bit harder because the other team has an advantage right now with the radar? Who knows? But it could swing either way. It's either gonna bring a better aspect to professional Call of Duty, or it's gonna make it even slower. But
I think it
we'll see.
rises another meta in itself. Do you get rid of a kill streak just to throw on a
It's
UAV?
support.
And even if you're on the other team, are you gonna have someone on your team running a UAV and then someone else running a counter UAV just to counter if the other team throws up a UAV? I think it adds a completely new line of meta to Call of Duty that we haven't seen yet.
No, you're right, and you're gonna need that one person that's gonna have to try and go for the counters. You're gonna have actually, I think personally, I think that if they add the personal radar, that almost every person needs to try and run the counter. But if everybody runs a counter, then the UAVs are gonna be fucking useless. But we don't know yet. We don't know until the game comes out and we start seeing people play, the professionals play,
True.
and
Expect that to
we
be
can
another
only.
podcast, people. When the full game drops and we have more information, expect there to be another podcast. Easily.
One more thing I want to talk about before we end this video, because we will do a part two, probably after
Probably when
the
the beta
beta ends.
ends. Yeah.
I want to talk about field upgrades,
Okay.
which is the bottom one. Now, some of these are perks in previous Call of Duties. Others, actually, most of them are perks. Some have been equipment. Some of them are brand new to Call of Duty. This deployable cover. I feel like it's just like a riot shield that you can just throw on the ground, but it's not. It's just fucking what's his face's shield from Black
Ajax?
Ops 4.
Or
No, no,
Yeah,
no.
it's
The,
Ajax.
yeah, the shield you can just throw down.
That's how
I,
bad Black
I,
Ops 4 was. I'm already trying to forget it.
yeah, I don't know. This deployable cover I feel like is useless. But it could be useful for the people that are just camping on holding an objective. I mean, that's the only thing I can see it used for.
Well, this could also. This I don't think they should get rid of this for competitive Call of Duty. To be honest, I'm sorry. That's what I'm focusing on. I'm a competitive player,
No,
so
it's
I like
fine.
to
No, no,
think
I
about it
understand.
on how viable it would be in a competitive aspect. If you're sitting there and you throw down a bomb in SND and you have two ways to watch, you could throw down one of those blockers, crouch behind it, and then you have one way to focus on. And then if someone's pushing you from the side, you pop up, you're automatically on a head glitch. What I
But
like
it
about
also
it is
makes you a
it's not.
target.
Yeah, it does. That's the kind of balance of it. If you see one of those things pop up in the middle of a game, you're going to think somebody's behind it. And if somebody's behind it, chances are you've just earned yourself a free kill. What I like about it is it's not a stupidly overpowered head glitch.
Nope, it's really not because you have upper body that's shown too. It's not just
It's not just
your
your
head,
fucking
your head and
forehead.
shoulders. Yeah, so I mean, like you said, it could be used, but we'll see because there's a ton of them. There's what, 9 of them? No, there's 8. So
Something I do
I
like
mean,
about
it
them
could
though
be.
is for each field upgrade, you get to see the recharge rate.
Yeah, it allows you to see how fast it is. That one's fast, and
I
the
like how the
munitions
trophy
box.
system and dead silence are fast. I like that. I don't like how the deployable cover is fast though. That's something I don't like.
Now, deployable cover. We'll see. Let's see if it's even used in competitive first before we
I
have
think an
our thoughts
EMP
on whether it
drone
should be changed.
would be pretty cool. Now, if the EMP drone can slip past a trophy system without being taken out, that might be a meta for trophies.
Oh, it's gonna have to be.
Yeah, something I do like about this game that we have not touched yet, I love that I don't have to worry about someone coming around the corner with a flamethrower or jumping up in the sky with some big silver dildo that has the fucking blast radius of a fucking nuke. I love that.
Well, in my opinion, trophy systems are going to be more valuable in this Call of Duty than they have been in previous ones. And because Black Ops 4 had no tacticals. They didn't have they had stuns, they had the 9 bang.
You had the concussion
Uh,
and the nade. Those were the only ones used in competitive.
Yeah, but the concussion didn't exist last year. It was just the stun that existed. So, but now we have the flash. We have a stun grenade. Um,
Dude,
what
these
is it?
flashbangs are fucking insane. To quote Jev, it's like someone put a bed sheet over my head.
Well,
I'm not gonna
yeah,
go into the rest of it because it's
but
pretty vulgar, but you probably know.
but what I'm saying is you're gonna have the trophy systems are gonna be used for that, those two,
Yep.
the frag grenades, the semtexes. C4 obviously won't be included in the professional Call of Duty, but
I fucking hope
Molotovs,
not.
thermites, like there's a lot of lethals and tacticals that need to be taken down. And the trophy systems I feel like are going to be extremely valuable this year in competitive, with just the amount of things that can be thrown everywhere.
There's some things in this game I don't even know what the fuck they are. So I was playing yesterday. What was it? Was it a fucking proximity mine? I don't even know.
Oh, the
Anyways,
proximity mine.
there was
Okay, the
this.
proximity mine is like a bouncing Betty.
Yeah, but there was this circle on a door, and it was a red light. And I tried shooting it, it wouldn't come off the door. I walked by it, nothing. As soon as I went to close that door, it blew up. I have no clue what that was, but I thought it was pretty cool. You're setting traps down now. We're going even further into the Rainbow Six era. And to be
Yeah,
honest, I don't think that's a bad thing for Call of Duty. Look at look at Call of Duty before Advanced Warfare. Everybody was getting bored, boots on the ground. Oh, it's the same thing, different guns, different name, different maps, different kill streaks sometimes. As soon as the advanced movement came out, it issued a whole new thing for Call of Duty. And then everyone was like, "Give us boots on the ground." They got boots on the ground. Everybody bitched about it. To be honest, I don't think there's a way to please everybody.
oh, certainly not. You won't
You
be able to.
you never appreciate a Call of Duty until you've already moved on to the next one. And then you're like, "Okay, this is something like World War II." Everybody thought World War II was a shit game. Then Black
I
Ops
did
4
much more
comes
into it.
out and then you're like, "Okay, this actually wasn't that bad about World War II. I wish Black Ops 4 had it." And to be honest, in this game, I like how realistic this game is. I do. As rage-inducing as it is sometimes, I love it.
I do too. And I'm not complaining about how realistic it is. I'm just my biggest issue, and I'll say it again, is just the camping. The amount of not moving out of a building less is that's the only issue I had with this whole entire game so far is just the amount of
Now,
camping.
a
That's all.
counter to that, could it also just be the maps that we've been thrown? They
I don't know.
they
I think
adhered to
the
the
most
camping aspect a little bit more. They like
no.
it welcomes it.
Well, it depends because like the one with the cave, that one does not. That's not camping inducing. I didn't have a problem with that one. That's actually my favorite map. But the
The one
one
with the
with the
rubbled buildings and all
yeah,
like
the
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 one
one
building in
that
the middle.
everybody was complaining about. Yeah, the one that everybody was complaining where B is literally like down an alleyway.
Yeah.
That one that is such a camping map because there's so many buildings surrounding the outer edge of the map, and then you stick one in the center. Like, it's just asking for people to camp. But another one was the third map with the it's almost like you're on a ship. It had like containers and the B was on like the direct side of the map in a big open building. I'll tell you it next time we play it. That one is
Which I'm
everybody
assuming will
camps
be
in B.
pretty much right after this podcast, and I'll probably be live streaming it. So, shameless plug before we go into this, if you guys do want to see us AM King Devious, I'm pretty sure Grimm's is well, I'm pretty sure
Hit Grim.
ours is like almost the same as our gamer tag. My gamer tag is, as you see, the Devious OG. I thought that was pretty it was a pretty good swap for Smokeless Devious. But my Twitch is the same as my YouTube. It's I am King Devious. Grim, what's your Twitch?
Mine's Hit Grim.
His is Hit Grim. So if you guys do want to hear us talk more about this, it probably because we discussed the game while we play. We don't always do our discussions and videos and stuff like that. To be honest, this is the first one that we've done. We've wanted to do it for a while, but this is the first time we actually took the initiative and created the video. This will be, I'd like to do this at least once a week.
And we will. And I feel like it's a different kind of video because not very many people do it.
Yeah,
But while we're on the subject, our videos aren't going to be strictly video games or talking about Call of Duty. We're going to talk about just anything we decide to talk about in the video. It could be about sports. It could be anything that's happening in the world, just any subject. It's not just going to
some
strictly be video games.
something that we probably won't cover just because it's so sensitive to some people. We probably won't cover like politics and stuff like that.
Absolutely not. I already
Probably
told you
won't.
that.
Maybe we'll talk about the new election going on for the United States president. The only reason I think that that would be a good video to talk about is because when it comes to the United States presidency, like the election, you have Donald Trump in there. You've just turned that from a fucking election into a playground insult match. But we're getting off topic of the video. The point is, if you guys have any topics that you would like us to talk about, go ahead and leave a comment down below in our videos. Whether you're watching this from my perspective or Grimm's perspective, go ahead, leave that comment down of any topics that you would like us to talk about. If you do enjoy these videos or the content on our channel, go ahead, drop a like, and feel free to subscribe to our channel. We will be pumping out a lot of content in the Modern Warfare season. I look forward to trying to progress my YouTube channel as well as my Twitch in this season. So if y'all do enjoy, go ahead, go to my Twitch. I am King Devious. Drop a follow. I'm trying to hit affiliate this year. Grimm's already hit affiliate. So if you like what you're seeing over there, go ahead, drop a sub. Subs are half off in September, baby. This is your discount month to do it. Go ahead, show your favorite streamers some support. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Do you have anything to add to that, John?
Nope. I think you had everything right on the spot.
All right, guys. So
So
this is your boy King Devious. I hope you all enjoyed the video. One more time, if you did enjoy the video, whether you're watching from my POV or Grimm's POV, do feel free to drop a like on the video and subscribe. Don't forget to comment any subjects that you would like us to cover in the next video. That's it for me, guys. Peace.
peace.